right, 7.9, consideration of waiving the formal bidding process pursuant to Lake County Code Section 38.2, as it is not in the public interest due to the unique nature of goods or services. B, ratifying payment in the amount of $7,892.37 for ad order 0006900014. C, approving payment to the Lake County Record B not exceeding $50,000 annually. Treasurer Tax Collector Patrick Sullivan.
All right, Patrick Sullivan, County Treasurer Tax Collector. I'm bringing this item forward to your board regarding the publication requirements for our office. Throughout the Revenue and Taxation Code, there are various mandated legal publications we have to do throughout the year. They have to be published in the newspaper of record for the county. And at this time, the only newspaper of record in the county, as recognized by the Superior Court and pursuant to code, is the Lake County Record B. So for the time being, at least, we have no option other than to publish in the Record B. Given the nature of our purchasing ordinance, there's no exception specifically for publication, which means it does have to go to competitive bidding. Obviously, there is no way to get competitive bids in this situation since there's only one source. So that's why I've brought this item forward. We're requesting, one, to approve the payment, on the order that's already been placed, and then also to approve payment to the Lake County Record B not to exceed $50,000 annually. I don't think we've ever actually spent more than $40,000 in a year, but it depends on the size of our publications and the list. So I'm just trying to build in some wiggle room there. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right. I don't see any from the board, so I'll open it up for public comment. All right, I'll bring it back to the board for action.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to waive the formal bidding process pursuant to Lake County Code Section 38.2, as is not in the public interest due to the unique nature of goods and services.
Yes, yeah, just one at a time, right? Yep. Do I have a motion and a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
And I move to ratify the payment in the amount of $7,892.37 for ad order 0006900014.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
And then I'll move to approve payment to the Lake County Record B for legally required publication not to exceed $50,000 annually.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right. With that, we'll go on to 7.10, or did you need anything else on the other one?
No, that's great.
All right. So then we got consideration of A, waiving the formal bidding process pursuant to Lake County Code Section 38.2, as it is not in the public interest due to the unique nature of goods or services, approving payment of pre-sort center postage deposit for $5,905.41, approving agreement with the pre-sort center for printing and mailing services in an amount not to exceed $200,000. Treasurer Tax Collector Patrick Sullivan.
All right, thank you again. This is a similar issue as the last item with Record B, but admittedly, this one's a little bit more complex. The reason we're bringing this forward is primarily because of the postage situation. Again, our purchasing ordinance is restrictive rather than permissive, and there's no exception for postage. So right now, if we were to have a job, for instance, we can have a printing and mailing job that may cost $3,000, but because everything has to go out certified, it's over $50,000 in postage that goes with it. So the way our ordinance currently works, that would have to go, in that situation, would actually have to go through the entire RFP process for the print job, which for us is just not practical. We actually tried to get various quotes on the unsecured, which was what you're seeing here in that agreement. Only the pre-sort center actually got back to us in this scenario. But that's not really the point. That's not the reason why we're doing this. It's simply that we have to be able to go with a vendor that possesses all of these capacities, the capacity to do the printing and mailing with our data, the ability to produce the envelopes and bills that we need, and also to handle those amounts of postage. And the primary issue is postage. In that example I gave, that's the more extreme. Postage is far and away the largest amount, but even typically postage is 3 to 4 times whatever we're spending in the print job. So the vast majority of a transaction for us is always postage related. And because of our scale, basically every transaction we do, even if we just want to run down to the corner print shop, triggers our purchasing process. So my position is that this is a unique situation, what we're looking for in a vendor that has all these capacities, and especially that the postage itself is not negotiable and makes up the vast majority of these transactions. So I'm asking you to find that it's not in the public interest due to the unique nature of goods and services, so that we can move forward with getting the tax bills printed. And frankly, if we don't do it this way, this is after a year of going back and forth on various issues around the policy and trying to find a path forward. I don't really have another path forward that guarantees the tax bills going out. This is kind of the end of the line in terms of a solution. So I just want to put that out there, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Supervisor Sabatier?
So I'll leave it to our tax collector to let us know we still live in the 1900s where we do the exact same thing they probably did in 1910. I'd love to see us maybe add that to our list of lobbying to try and make some of these changes, because it's costly and it keeps getting more and more expensive, and we have no process to bypass that. So my other request is look at carving out an amendment in our procurement where postage is postage, no matter what you're going to pay, what postage costs. You're not going to get it cheaper. You're not going to get it any different. And so I think that looking at a carve out in our procurement would be good, which is why today I'm going to say yes, just because it's kind of a ridiculous thing to say, no, you can't waive the formal bidding process where you're only going to get the same cost no matter how you go about it.
All right, if there's nothing else, I'll open it up for public comment. I'll bring it back to the board for action.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to waive formal bidding process pursuant to Lake County Code Section 38.2, as it is not in the public interest due to the unique nature of goods or services.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
And Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve payment of pre-sort center invoice number 112685 for $5,905.41.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve agreement with the pre-sort center for printing and mailing services in an amount not to exceed $200,000 and authorize the chair to sign.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Patrick.
All right. Thank you, board.